Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ZSR for a very busy day on ZSR, but we are excited to be back with the NMG monthly races, and today we're going with 100% ahead of the upcoming NMG League, who will feature that very same mode. So without further ado, let's switch to the layout. Let's hand it off to Relkin, our lonely rider on comms today. Have a good time.
All right, thanks Trez for that. Yep, like he said, this is the 100% NMG category. The goal of this is to collect every single heart piece, every single bottle, all of your upgrades, except for the bomb and arrow upgrades. We do not care about maps and compasses, or extra small keys. So everything on your pause menu, like in the Y item slot and then the B items, your B items and your shield, your swords, your mail upgrade, and then all of your A items, boots, mitts, flippers, boot pearl. And then of course all the heart pieces on your HUD. We are off. So the beginning of this category is almost identical to any percent NMG. We just go through the escape sequence as usual. There is one slight difference that is very important that you do not forget about whenever you're running this category. I will get to that once we get closer. But your typical pumping movement throughout the early game is going to be very prevalent here. On Restream today, our runners are Yurok, Chimo, and Chex Human. Chimo actually did his very first hundo run today. It was just above 2 hours, which for a first hundo run is decent. That usually means if you're decent enough in energy and you have a sub 130 time, or sub 90 minute time, I should say. Usually that means you just got a lot of bad RNG. This is a very RNG heavy category, way more so than regular 80% NMG. You kind of just take what you get when you're first starting out hundo, and then you just do more runs to have better shots at having better RNG. I did catch to see how each of their first key guard rooms went. But they all seem to be on a similar pace. I think it all went smoothly for each of them. Alright, here's where it gets important. You do not want to pick up this chest here. It has the blue boomerang. If you pick that up, it makes a part later in the game way worse. You actually want to skip this boomerang because getting the red boomerang is the requirement for 100%. And we can get that later in the run. And it is way more convenient to get that boomerang than it is to get this blue boomerang now and then have to go find the red boomerang in a very, very annoying spot. That spot in particular, I will point out as we get closer. Hopefully I remember to point it out later. Ooh, Corey on down to 1 heart here. That's a little bit sketch, but he survives ball and chain, does not die. Sometimes with Escape, though, it is a game of survive and advance because it's hundo, and with heavy RNG, your run could go, your run time is very much weighs on how good or bad RNG you get. So, and that, a lot of what you do in other parts of the game may not matter before you get to all the RNG, because either you just have a really good run up to those RNG choke points, and then you lose all that time and feel bad, or you have a terrible run up until that point, and then you get great RNG, which in a race situation, you know, it puts you back in the race. It's just the nature of this category. It's a very volatile one. You have zero control of the RNG. No way to mitigate it. Gotta hope and pray. But I mean, that brings up the whole point of why this is not a very, I guess, good racing category. It is still neat to showcase, and it's more about love of the category and just having fun playing the game versus trying to see who wins races, kind of thing. And of course, on your own time, you try and improve your time over the course of many different attempts. So you've always got that to look forward to. But in terms of a race, it is way less about who wins and who loses, and more just to see what the experience brings about. This room is not so fun without the boomerang that we normally have in any percent. We just have to deal with whatever RNG is thrown at us. If he goes up to the top left, it's bad. If he stays in the bottom left, that's better. But it looks like for the most part, it wasn't terrible RNG for all three runners. Alright, and all three runners made it through escape. All of them actually had 554s, so it's a very tight escape sequence for everyone. That's pretty hype. Let's go. Chimo's NMG time, any percent, is I think just under 127. Chex's NMG time is a high 124, and Yurok's NMG time is NMG time is a 124.30 something, I want to say. It's been a while since I've checked the leaderboard. So after we finish escape, you'll notice that every runner picked up Sank Cart. That is actually a requirement. You cannot skip that. So you are forced to have Sank Cart in this category at the very beginning. You can't you don't ever save and quit, so you don't ever start Sank again. So this is like the only time you have to pick up Sank Cart. So you just pick it up. Corey very wisely choosing a different route than normal to avoid the bad RNG of that Octorok shooting. Chex having to kill a lot of enemies in escape led him to get a early red rupee drop, which is nice. Any money you can collect along the way is helpful for the RNG segments later on. And it also, any little bits of money you can pick up will also be helpful for a final purchase of the big red bomb. When I say final purchase, I just mean the final expenditure that you carry out in this category. It can also be helpful to have just backup money in case you mess up with the big bomb. That's like the only reason you need extra money is for backup attempts of big bomb. Oh, nice red drop for Corey. And Chimo. Very nice. We love to see that. The game is being nice to us early, which means it's going to be awful to us later. So all three runners having around the same amount of cash on hand. All right, and then we come up to the one of those little things that you hope you don't mess up too much is the big key grab in Eastern. All three runners not having too much trouble. Relatively smooth. All having 2.5 hearts leaving the room, which means you did it without messing up. So can't ask for more. Just a little note here, after we get the bow here, our next menu will be to the bow, and you can actually tap any direction on the D-pad once, and you will get the bow equipped. That is the nice thing about certain categories like Hundo or AD-RMG, or any other, any percent RMG, those kinds of categories, where your only 2 items are bow and lamp. Any direction will send you to the bow next, after having lamp equipped. Right will wrap you around from the right, from the bottom to the top. Left will push you back up. And down is, the opposite of down for up is just directly to the bow. And then down is wraps around from the bottom to the top. All roads lead to the bow. Each runner successfully dealing with ZGR and double readies. Onto the Armos fights. Oh, Chimo having a rough time here. Missing a lot of arrows. Missing arrows in this fight, in this category, is not as bad as it is in 80%. Ooh, we are just shooting and praying. Okay. We made it through. We have 1 arrow to our name. He's not gonna have enough arrows to fake Clipper. Wrong category, Fox. But yeah, not necessarily a problem to not have a lot of arrows in Hundo as it is for any percent NMG. He might still want to pick up the extra arrows in the back of Desert, just so he has plenty for Lammo and for Palace of Darkness. Alright, so here's another major difference. We actually pick up this money in the back of the closet of Sahasrahla. Saha's closet, if you will. And we also pick up the bombs. We need all of these things early on, because this is the best spot to pick up bombs. Because we need 3 bombs for 2 for heart pieces, and then 1 for a nice basement strat since we don't pick up the boomerang and Hera. And since the money is right next to the bombs, it is just faster to pick up those 2 chests than do tree rupees, like we do in 80%. Corey doing his patented top strat there, where he dashes through the bushes up top. I don't understand how he gets it to save time, but apparently he says it saves time, so. The desert overworld sequence here is no different from any percent. We just go get the book and go to desert. Obviously, like I said before, we pick up the Saha rupees and the bombs, but the overworld after that is no different. You'll be seeing the same menu to the book, where we call the splashy dashy screen. Try to avoid dashing through the water and nudge against the set of bushes. Oh wow! Okay, that's right. I forgot that Corey goes for the stair menu. He goes for a stair cancel right by desert. Ooh, he almost bonked off that bush. That would have been bad. Although, I'm not sure if it bonks. I forget if it bonks there or if he just dashes straight through. Either way. So heal menu right here to get a quick turn that will cancel stair lag, and it'll not waste as many frames turning back up. So if you can use that effectively, that is actually technically a better menu than the splashy dashy avoidance. So Chimo just trailing behind only a little bit from the other two runners. But overall, still decently close. Like I said, always room for RNG to throw wrenches. A lot of this early game stuff is not going to matter a whole lot if RNG has many things to say about it. Reaction there from Corey. Sorry, Yurok. I might be calling him Corey a couple times because it's just the reverse of his username, and it's his actual name. So, you know, I'm sure you don't need a PhD to figure that out. Oh, the book spam. Completely and totally unnecessary, but it's, you know, it's fun to spam buttons that do nothing. Alright, here's another difference right here. So instead of spin speeding here, we actually dash down and get this heart piece right now. It is the best and like the safest time to get it. We actually want to get a specific amount of heart pieces throughout this run. So when we get to a certain point, we will get a heart refill after a scary segment. Runners can opt to do a safer strat where they will get a fairy. I will cross that bridge later and talk more about it as we get closer. But for right now, just there is a specific heart piece route that we choose to take on. Oh goodness, this is a bad back of desert for Corey. That was like one little thing made the room just go all sorts of out of whack. He is going to opt to play it safe and pick up those heart pots. Oh, and he takes a hit anyway. Alright, I'm interested to see if Chimo ends up picking up these extra arrows. And he will, so there you go. Lammo, let's see how each of these fights are going. Ooh. Not so great there on the second cycle for Corey. Okay, not so hot for Corey. Decent enough for checks. I think it was like a 4 cycle or 3 cycle. And so something that you do here right after killing Lammo is you'll notice checks and Corey both menu to bombs after the heart container pickup. And that is just because the next item we want is bombs immediately, and we can save a little bit of downtime. Chimo did not do it there, perhaps because he does not know about that. It just saves around one menu worth of time, and that is you gotta save those frames, right? I mean, that's a significant time save to menu. Oh, Chimo also doesn't exactly know what path to take to get to Agina, but maybe after watching this race he can see what the right strats to do are. But yeah, so menuing to the bomb, or menuing right after picking up a heart container, where you can menu in a boss room, will allow you to, the pendant will still be spawning during the menu time, and so you can you have a little bit of downtime that you can use a menu on. And that is, we only use that after beating Lambo in this category. The 80 RMG category uses it twice, both after Armos and after Lambo. Corey having to kind of adjust there for the fake flipper, a little annoying, but he does get it. All right, and so you'll notice that Chex I think did it, but Corey definitely did it. You do a spin speed off of these stairs instead of going straight for the mountain, and you get this heart piece and bonk rocks. Ooh, that was a bit scary there on Chimo's side. The Zora was positioned in such a way where if he wasted time, that was going to be a bit sketchy. This screen that Corey is on is slightly annoying, but he does get the optimal strat where the bird knocks you out of the rock pickup animation after picking up the rock, so it can save a few frames. Oh, Chimo's gonna get hit. Oh, Check saying he spin speedn't. Good. Thank you for that, Chex. Thank you for clarifying that you spin speedn't. Does that mean that you went for it and missed it, or you just didn't go for it? I'm unclear on this. While he answers that question, our first stop here on the mountain is not going straight to Hera. We actually want to drop down here or try and attempt a hover to this heart piece in Spectacle Rock Cave. He forgot. Okay. Looks like both Chex and Corey are not going to risk the hover. Ooh, Chex going for a pretty advanced strat there. If you know exactly what you're doing, it's somewhat simple. It is just a method of what happened there with Chima? Placing the bomb before the heart piece is picked up. The bomb timer does not continue while you are holding up the heart piece or collecting it. So you can use that time to adjust your position for the bomb jump exiting Spectacle Rock Cave. They both got it, which is nice. And Chimo also gets the bomb jump. Very good, very good. Okay, now we're in Hair Basement. Also, you need to pick up this heart piece on top of Spectacle Rock as well. You need to pick that up now for I guess technically you can pick it up later, but it's just better to pick it up now. So here in the basement, we don't have the boomerang, but we have an extra bomb in our hand. We actually can take advantage of this fact, the fact that that's our last bomb in our inventory. Menu to the bombs, drop the bomb, and our menu will shift over to the lamp automatically. So in effect, we already menued to the lamp, quote unquote, and we can use that bomb to set up an easy coffee break in the tile room. It's a very handy strat. Very comfy. Yeah, if you didn't know, if you run out of bombs, the bombs disappear from your inventory, and it'll shift over to the next item to the right of bombs. The next item happens to be the lamp. Most of these rooms are pretty much the same. Just trying to deal with beetles as best you can, get the moon pearl. It looks like Chimo does not know about laying the bomb down, so hopefully he watches this afterwards and learns. Because it is a time save to use the bomb strat, because you want to menu to the lamp anyway, and by using your bomb, you menu to the lamp automatically. And here's Moldorm. So far, so good for checks. Oh yeah, that was an ill-advised dash. He probably should have bailed out on the dash, seeing that Moldorm was not in a good position to be hit. But I don't think he saw that in time. Corey has to deal with a little bit of rough RNG there, but moved in a good position there to hold out his dash and his sword. So that worked out. Oh, no, checks. Goodness. Zelda. How do you do this? You don't fall. That is all the advice I have to give. So now, Chimo is caught up to checks decently. Oh, trying to get the bumper dash, does get it. Okay, third time's the charm. Oh, okay, we got it. There we go, checks. Okay, here's Enraged Phase for Chimo. Oh, that almost could have been bad, but he got lucky, I think. He dashed through Moldorm, and it didn't hit him, so he got lucky. Okay, so now we're in the Lost Woods. We're getting a Master Sword like normal. After we pick up the Master Sword, our route will deviate slightly. We skip the tree rupees, as you may have seen. We don't pull any trees here like we would maybe in any percent. Alright, now that we've finished picking out the Master Sword, we want to pick this mushroom up now. We actually passed by it earlier because the mushroom respawns, even if you pick it up. So we don't want to accidentally pick it up on our second pass, so we just wait to pick it up until we get to the second pass. And then immediately after picking up the mushroom, we dash through the bushes from below and then slash up and fall to pick up this heart piece. And then we're done. We move on to Aga Tower right after this. Let's look at everyone's arrow count and money. So everyone has pod money, which is good. Everyone has, okay, except for Chimo. Chimo has less than 10 arrows. I think... I'm trying to think, how many arrows do you use in Aga Tower? Oh yeah, don't forget that, Chimo. Don't forget the mushroom. Oh, he does not know to not pull trees. Oh, okay, so he does not know to pick up that heart piece there. He will have to pick it up later. He can pick it up in Skullwoods Split, but it's going to cost him more time overall. But he will need to pick that up in Skullwoods, otherwise it throws off the heart piece route. So it might look here from a quick glance that Chimo is ahead of Chex. That is not the case. Chex already picked up the Lost Woods hideout heart piece. Chex took a hit somewhere in the overworld and tried to get a heart back, but was unsuccessful. Anyways, let me think. How many arrows does it take to get through Aga Tower? He's going to have just enough if he does everything right and doesn't waste arrows. Because you want, I think, 7 arrows for pod. Oh, what? Oh, did you take the damage that you took? Was you want to challenge and take the game to court for checks? I'm sorry. There's too many runners on screen for me to be able to catch every little thing that happens. I'm sorry. Corey having a mostly uneventful climb. He had a little bit of trouble in the double spear guards room outside of woods. Gotcha. Ooh, that was an ill-advised set of slashes there. I think he could have just walked below the guard and been fine, Chimo. But he probably didn't trust that. Oh, he got the heart back too, but then still took a hit in the next room. Okay, provided he doesn't use any more arrows, he should have enough for pod. Okay, yeah, that's good. Oh, that is not what you're supposed. That's not what you're supposed to do in this room in Hundo. You actually want to go to the right and pick up pots, like you saw Chex do there. All right, and here's our first RNG segment of the run. Major RNG segment. Aghanim is exactly like he is in any percent or any category that fights Aga 1. You are subject to however many blue balls he throws at you, anywhere from 0 to 15, if you do not miss any hits. Each blue ball loses 6 seconds, and every third, and on the 3rd, 7th, 11th, and 15th blue balls, you lose an additional 6 seconds on top of that. Not having the best of luck here to start the fight for Corey. So giving the other runners a chance to make up a little ground. Not that he had any control over it, but it's just how it goes. I think we're up to like 5 now or something like that. And meanwhile, I think both Chimo and Chex each got energy balls in their first 2. Oh, there's the first blue ball for Chimo and Chex both. Okay, was that 4 or 5? How many was that? Corey, do you? 6. Okay, 6. So that is 42 seconds worth of time loss to blue ball RNG over a 0 blue ball Aga. Okay, Chimo looks like, I think he got 2. I think Chimo got 2 there because Chex is about to get. I think Chex is about to kill him, and that would have meant he got 3. So Chimo with 2. Irok with 6, Chex with 3. Alright, first thing you do when you get to Dark World is pick that heart piece up. Do not forget. That will ruin the heart piece route if you do not pick that up. You have an opportunity to pick it up later in the Ice Palace split, but it is a lot slower to pick that up from Ice Palace than it is to just get it right here, right now. Do not forget this. This is another one of those easy to forget heart pieces. I guess really it's one. I think this is our first instance of an easy to forget heart piece. In most runners' opinions. But all 3 runners pick it up, so no forgetting there. And for the most part, House of Darkness is essentially all unchanged in a hundo from any percent. So there's not going to be a whole lot to talk about here in terms of differences. We obviously already talked about how the fact that all runners have good amounts of money here for Kiki. And there's some variance in how many arrows and or bombs, but those are pretty negligible in the grand scheme of things. So we'll take this time to talk about bomb routes and arrow routes. So in any percent, we pretty carefully map out how many bombs and arrows we pick up throughout the course of the run. In Hundo, it does matter a little bit early on, but the later in the run you get, the less it matters. The reasons for that is that because we pick up the silver arrows from the Pyramid Fairy. And then bombs are... There's a lot more places for bomb pickups in the Hundo run than there are for the any percent route. And so we worry a little bit less about the potential for not having enough bombs. You will still see runners pick up bombs like they would do in 80% here in Pod. They'll pick it up on pretty much every pass through this central room, just because you still need those early bombs. You might optionally see some runners pick up both pots in the room where you do the hammer jump. Nice airdrop there for checks. Not a huge deal, like I said, but he can opt to skip some arrows later if he gets some more lucky arrows somewhere. There will be spots for lucky bombs and/or arrows. Most notably the chess game, which we will see in the segment directly after this, or in the overworld directly after this dungeon. Alright, here comes the hammer jump. Nicely done there for Corey. I didn't see how many extra menus he had, but it looked good. He probably had 0 or 1 extra menus. I briefly looked away, but I guess Timo had a good hammer jump, and Chex also looked like he had a good hammer jump. The difference here in the menuing here is the biggest thing for Hundo. You do not have the boomerang where it normally is, so if you are used to doing left and right menus, you have to do one less for each. Our way through the back here, just kind of general, looking for general good execution of these room-to-room strats. There's a bit of an RNG there in that turtle room though, where one of the turtles can go, or both could go down, and that's not what you want, but no control. Pelvisaur in this category is essentially no different from grabbing Sankar in 80% NMG. You have the exact same amount of hits to take to avoid death. Which is, seems kind of annoying because it's Hundo, so you end up having more health. But it changes nothing about this fight in the optimal route. But, runners... hopefully know what they're doing. Corey definitely knew what he was doing and had no trouble with that fight. Chimo having a little bit of trouble here. Oh. Okay, gets it done. Slightly bad RNG there to deal with. But we survived the fight nonetheless. And that is our first Dark World dungeon. Okay, so if you were looking forward to the crux of why this category is not so fun, we are about to embark on a wonderful journey of RNG. But first, before we get to that RNG segment, we need to do a couple of errands on our way there. Namely, we want to come into this cave and pick up this 300 bucks off of the Hype Cave guy, if you're a rando player. That is Hype Cave. Ooh, bad Skullbush RNG there for Corey. And immediately after that, we come up and pick up the flute, mostly like normal. There is one difference in how we set our portal. You'll see that here shortly. So instead of putting your portal below the dig spot, you actually want to put it to the right, and then dig up the flute facing the right, and pick it up while in the portal so you skip the cutscene. We actually want to return to Dark World here, unlike any percent. Because we're not done shopping and erranding. Alright, Chex and Chimo both picking up their 300s from Hype Cave. Chimo actually not going the correct way there. It is faster to go left a screen and then pick up the rock than going around. Only slightly, but it is faster. Alright, so we pick up the K45 heart piece, and then we encounter the RNG segment. The first of two major RNG segments in Hundo. This is Dig Game. So how it works, there is a heart piece to be found here. There is a, I think, maximum of like 37 digs or something like that you could potentially do. Ooh, Corey messing up 2 of them. I forget if it's the 25th or the 26th dig, but after the 25th or 26th dig, there is a 1 in 32 chance to dig up a heart piece. And each dig has that 1 in 32 chance. Oh, there it is. Corey getting it first try. That is huge. 25th, thanks, DoomTap. So on the 25th dig, so after the 24th dig. Okay, so you can get 38. Gotcha. Corey has labbed out Dig Game a lot, so he knows exactly how to try and do it optimally. But getting through that first try is huge, because every time you do not get the heart piece from Dig Game, if the timer runs out, that is a 45-second time loss, or something like that. So it is the first of 2 places where your run will just die. You have no control over what happens. You either get it very fast, or you get it, not fast. Slow, as it were. I'll be briefly mentioning something that Corey is going to be picking up, but immediately after the game, you go pick up the race game heart piece, and then that up to where we go to pick up our first bottle and the bug net. You activate the flute, and then we go turn the mushroom immediately after that to pick up the powder. So Chex and Chima both did not get it on their second attempt. Every after this, that they continue to get the heart piece. Chimo actually. So the other thing about the game is you want to pick up the spare and stuff you see alone, because you actually do want to have a certain amount of money. Other spending segments. So he did not pick up any of those a little bits of extra money that he definitely could have used. So he's going to need to pick up some extra money elsewhere, or just get lucky. But it is more advisable to pick up the 20s that you see. So Chimo's second try dig game, it's acceptable. I mean, obviously first dig is preferred, but Only one worse than that is decent. Okay, so our dig games are all done now. 1, 2, 3, it went. Corey got it in 1, Chimo got it in 2, Chex got it in 3. So relatively unscathed if we're really taking things in consideration. Chimo going around the wrong way there to the back of Tavern. Okay, so after we get the powder from the witch hut, we flute back immediately to Kakariko and get the second bottle off of the bottle vendor, and then we come here to the Blind's basement and pick up the heart piece in the back where you blow up the wall. And immediately after that, we spin speed here and drop down to the well to pick up the heart piece in the back of it. Oh, nice strat there from Chex. I don't know if we saw this from Corey, but that is the optimal strat to do there, where you damage boost and get the spin speed through Usain Bolt, or the red trident guard, or whatever you want to call it. Corey, seeing that he is not a whole lot of money, picking up those chests, you actually want to have like around 340 rupees, just if you can, coming out of the well. Alrighty. Plots with blues, it really just depends on how much money or how few little money you have. It's personal preference, honestly. If you feel like you can get some good money later, it's up to you. Alright, this is the second of the big RNG segments. This is chess game. People, please correct me in chat if I am wrong about this, but I think how it works is you have a 1 in 8 chance to get the heart piece from the second chest you open. It was intended to be both chests have a 1 in 8 chance of getting the heart piece, but it is bugged and the first chest will not give you the heart piece in the Japanese 1.0 version. It is fixed in later versions, if I'm not mistaken. Sadly, with many of the good tricks in the speedrun being on Japanese 1.0, we are forced to deal with the broken chess game. So be it, right? Alright, so if you'll notice here, Chimo is actually supposed to get a heart refill there, but because he forgot to pick up the heart piece in the Lost Woods drop-down, he did not get a heart refill there. So that is where we would, if you're counting heart pieces, you'll expect a heart refill there. I'm not sure how many attempts Corey is on here, but it has been a hot minute. This is the final hurdle of RNG you need to get through, and it can be as brutal or as kind as it wants to be. And if you remember me mentioning this earlier, this is a part where you can get extra bombs and arrows. You can get 10 arrow pickup, you can get a 1 single bomb pickup, or a single arrow pickup. Corey is full on arrows, so arrows do not matter to him anymore. And he's almost pretty much full on bombs too, so he really doesn't care about those either. Oh, Chimo getting lucky and getting arrows at his first pull of... Okay, there it is. Corey survives chess game. So he is the first runner to escape the RNG segment. So he is now in the lead, for sure. 11? Okay, thanks, Corey. It took him 11 chests and 1 dig. And then this is where we get the red boomerang. This is why we skip the blue boomerang in Escape. That red boomerang gets placed there, assuming you never pick up the blue boomerang in any of the spots that you can get it early on. So it is there in the brewery, right for the taking. Okay, Chex makes it through chess game. I'm not sure how many chests it took for him, but it was very fast. So now he is outright ahead of Chimo. Two chests, thank you. Oh, Chimo got bailed out with the money situation, and he is more than good on money. In fact, he can opt to skip a 300 if he really wanted to. Okay, yeah, so there it is. I'm not sure how many that was for Chimo, but it was a lot. It was definitely a very non-zero amount. Okay, if he knows the route here, this is what you would do if you were going to plan on skipping the Sea House 300 rupees. Given what Chimo has done in terms of strats for this so far, from what I've seen, I'm not sure if he knows that this is actually what he wants to do, and he's doing it right. So that remains to be seen. Okay. So, now we're going to talk about the safety strats you can implement in this category. What you saw right there was Corey using the powder on the anti-fairy in this room upon revisiting it. If you just walk down and then hold face to the left after hopping onto the conveyor part of the room, it will just... the anti-fairy will walk into you. And it will be picked up by the powder. And then, picked up by the bug net after the fact. Oh no, Chimo missing the bomb before. The reason that we pick it up there is for Spike Cave. It is a basically get out of jail free card if you do not feel confident in your ability to do Spike Cave without a safety fairy. The way we route our heart pieces and stuff allows us to attempt to get through Spike Cave on all the health that we can have at one time, but it's very tight nonetheless. So it is completely up to the runner for them to decide on whether they want a fairy or not. Chimo had a little bit of trouble there picking it up, so hopefully he watches this back to see what to do for next time. Blind is, the same. There's nothing to really talk about there with the boss. The rest of the dungeon is pretty uneventful. At this point, we have so much health that it's less of a worry about dying. It's more of just a concern of making sure you don't forget things. This is really good, actually, honestly. The fact that we have such a decently close race like this for a restream is making me happy. So I can showcase this as best I can without having to, like everything kind of being almost in sync with each other is, like, all I could really ask for as a commentator. So thank you, Legend of Zelda, for... thank you, Link to the Past, for setting us up so nicely. Corey opting to pick up that money there, probably just because he knows his run is not going to PB, and he's just opting to keep his splits intact and keep the integrity of his golds. He did not necessarily need to pick it up. It's probably a bit tight to not pick it up, but at this point, it is very understandable just to go ahead and pick up the 300 from Sea House, just to not have to worry about the money tightness. So you'll notice there, we did a nice little hammer pegs excursion. The first thing you do after getting your money is you go pick up a smith and then do hammer dashes through all these pegs to get a heart piece. And we even do a hammer dash inside the cave to get through that little pot row. And unlike any percent, we actually put our mirror portal here, right by the smith house. Because that is just the best spot to put it. Immediately after we drop off our sword, we go back into our portal and pick up the purple chest. And then we take the purple chest to the right and mirror past the peg, hop down into Magic Bat, and get ourselves half magic. All while keeping the purple chest in tow. And so right after that, we go back in and pick up our sword. We do not want to forget this. This is a bad time loss to forget your sword. Nice facing down there from Chex. You can stand flush with the Magic Bat pot thingy or whatever, and face any direction, and it'll still work. So after we get our sword, we go turn in a purple chest to get our third bottle from this guy, and then we immediately flute back and do Skullwoods. By using this portal from the Mitzrock side. And then Skullwoods is 100% normal. There is no change in how we do the routing for the dungeon. Obviously, we come from this side instead of the other side that we usually come from in 8%. So we dash to the right here and deal with that guy's RNG as best we can, and then go on our way. Pops, let me real quick check and see how many current entries we have. There are 6 current entries on the qualifier list. I know there are more people that are still going to do runs and submit them, but as it stands, right now only 6 have officially submitted. Check shaking his head there. Not getting the best RNG from the mini Moldorms. The menu, a little bit awkward there from Corey, but otherwise not too bad. Ooh, going below for some reason. Alright, good fight. Did about as good as he could there with the RNG, and managed to only have 2 spikes move. Uh-oh, check saying help. What happened? Oh, he got body beamed. Oh no. I missed it. Alright, so that was a mostly uneventful Skullwoods for Chex and Corey. Okay, can someone help me out? Did Chimo end up picking up that heart piece? That was his chance to go pick it up. I was not looking. I can go check. The Ice Palace split, for the most part, is like unchanged. You still go get Quake. But the only difference is you get this Zora's Domain heart piece after getting the flippers. Okay, it doesn't look like he picked the heart piece up. So, that is problematic. There really isn't a great time to go pick it up. Except for, like, in your final shopping run. Yeah, we can have someone yell into the chat. Just chat or something. Alright, so Corey successfully not forgetting the heart piece here in Zora's Domain. That is the second of the easiest to forget heart pieces in Hundo. Oh, nice Louis menu there. So if you see that the Zora is in your way when you menu there to Fire Rod, you go around to the left instead, and you should be good. Checks. Also remembering the heart piece. Let's go. You actually want to drop your sword for screen transitioning there to reduce lag. Drop your sword before entering Zora's Domain. As usual, in 80% NMG, we have the Ice Palace Bomb Jump. It is no different here. In fact, the menu is exactly the same. So the strat here should not change. That looks good for Corey. And he gets it. And Chimo successfully remembering this heart piece. So yeah, the fact that he has 2 heart pieces there means he forgot a heart piece. So I'm gonna go over to chat. Hopefully he will see this. Okay, so he has followers only chat, but you have to be a follower for 1 day to be able to chat in his chat. So I will put. Okay, Check's already put in the race time room that he needs to go get it. So thank you, Checks. I'll just echo what you said. I take it that Corey had a good cold stare fight. Typically in Hundo, you have way more than enough magic for the shell, and so you have some left over to use on the second phase, which makes it a lot simpler because the fire rod is more dynamic of a weapon than your sword. Some runners just opt to not change what they do because it's doesn't consume as much magic, and it will. It's just more comfy for them because they're used to it. But if you want to make things a little bit easier and less stressful, you can use the fire rod and spin cold stare to the left, because the fire rod is more effective from coming from the right in this fight. At the beginning, that is. Now we actually do not do swamp here. We go to the mountain because we want to do mire first. The first thing we do here, though, on the mountain is do Spike Cave. If you remember earlier, I talked about the safety fairy. Well, Corey picked it up. But it looks like he's actually fine. It doesn't need it. So he successfully made it through. Just peace of mind more than anything, I guess, for him in race scenarios. He seems to know what he's doing with the movement there. I did not see if Chex picked up a fairy for this, so we will just have to see. The last thing you want to do there is not get hit by a dead rock, but he thankfully had a fairy, so I guess thank goodness he had it. It's pretty good, though. Okay, I guess Chex doesn't have a fairy. I guess you see it in your menu if you do. Thank you, Dow. Okay, so he does not have a fairy. So he went for the risky strat there of no fairy pickup, and did not have to deal with the dead rock, thankfully. So he was safe. The big takeaway is that if you don't get the fairy, you do not want to take a death leaving Spike Cave or doing it, or on your way to the Ether Medallion. And then the next heart piece you pick up here in the Mire Shed, which you saw Corey pick up, gives you a full health refill. Because that is the route we chose. That is what gives you the nice benefit there of carefully planning out your heart piece pickups. It's really nice that it worked out this way, honestly. It just so happened to line up. The Mire dungeon is essentially no different. There is not much to talk about here. You have way more health than you do in NMG, so you can actually do a few more optimal strats here, where you do some damage boosts, stuff like that, stuff of that nature. You still want to hit the switch like you would in 80%. Whenever you come over to the left side, that does not change. The other thing that changes is that you do not have the hook shot for this dungeon, so whenever you go get the cane, you can't use the hook shot to go across the gap. Alright, so if Chimo is, okay, yeah, Chimo now knows, he saw 4 minutes ago that he still needs the Lost Woods heart piece, so he is aware. This is good. Another thing I noticed from both Corey and Chex, but not Chimo. Actually, I just now realized all three of these guys have C's in like their either real name or their screen name. So the 3 C's. Both Chex and Corey did the medallion slash. To open Mire. And that saves, I think Chex was telling me, 4 to 5 frames over just using the medallion. So I'm not sure who discovered it, but thank you for that, because that is just a free time save if you can pull it off. And it's like not so much a risk. If you just end up not getting the sword slash, you just get the regular medallion usage. So I guess the only real risk would be is if you slashed and didn't use your medallion. So just kind of err on the side of the early Y press, if you can make it as such. And here's the Viddy fight. We have 11 hearts. That is more than you would have on your average NMG run. Plenty of arrows too. Usually you are overstocked on arrows because of chess game RNG. Chex also having no trouble with Viddy. His arrow count is a little low, interestingly, but there's easy arrows to pick up in Swamp Palace if he wants to pick up more. Also pick up some arrows in Turtle Rock. You still do want to have a decent amount of arrows for the end game, but you do not need as much as you do for NMG. Like 21 is like the max you need for the entirety of the end game. So if you get to 16, you'll pick up that pot right before Ice Armos, and you'll be good to go. Oh, missing the bird there. trying to save those frames by dashing to the left. Somehow did not get picked up by the bird. Okay, so I'm curious to see if Chimo is going to pick up the fairy right before Viddy. He could either do that, or he could use Burnicane on the fight. It's really up to him. Looks like he's going to go and pick up... Oh, he should have waited. He should have waited to do this until after he did Spooky 3. So now he can't do Spooky 3. If you wanted the fairy, I guess I can understand that, but honestly, he probably would have been fine if he had just got the fairy out before Viddy and let that be that. So I glossed over it, but at least I'm seeing it. But before Swamp in Hundo, you go pick up the Bombos Medallion first. You do some slightly different movements upon entering Dark World. I did not realize that guard could not go through shallow water. That is interesting. So you can always charge a dash there, provided that the Octorok is not harassing you. That is another heart piece that is easy to forget. You drain the dam here, but before you enter your portal again, you want to pick up that heart piece. Chex and Corey both successfully remembering to pick up that heart piece. I also glossed over this too, but after Meyer, you go get the checkerboard heart piece. The inside of Swamp is 100% the same as any percent, so there is nothing to really talk about here. There is one thing that you could opt to do, I guess, if you have extra bombs, since you tend to come in with more than you need when doing Swamp, is Bomb Spooky. It is an optional strat that if your run isn't going super well, you can try and like farm a Swamp Palace gold and go for Bomb Spooky, which allows you to skip some travel time inside the dungeon in the vanilla categories. If you mess it up, though, it does lose you a little bit of time, but it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's fun to try and go for and hope to see if you get it. But you throw a bomb and then time your throw in such a way that it lands on the first frame of the explosion. And whenever that happens, the altitude value is set to negative 255, or 255. For some reason, it underflows there, and it hits way above, and it's actually in the room above. And if you throw it in the right spot, it'll hit that switch, so you can go up and not have to go around to get to that other room. And Chimo remembers to get that heart piece, so all is well in that regard. Corey actually ended up having beams for that room there, so he could have dealt with the potential bad RNG of the red jelly. I didn't see if that was what happened, but... he was primed and ready for it. Check's also having full health up to this point. Is he gonna pick up arrows? Yes. Okay, good. That is, he needed some arrows, so those were some good ones to pick up. All right, friendly RNG for Chex as well on the red guy. Here is Argus on Corey's side. Messes up a little bit, so does not going to get the 0 cycle or 1 cycle. Gets the sub 2 cycle at least. And here you actually don't want to menu to fire out like you would in 80%, because we want the hook shot immediately coming out of this dungeon. It's a very minimal thing, but optimal is optimal in that sense. Check's also remembering to not menu. Chimo getting his big key, making his way back to get hookshot. Alright, so you're going to see both Corey and Chex here in just a second go to the east and mirror to the Lake Hylia Island for our first shopping heart piece, or I guess first chore heart piece. I tend to call this split the chore split. Before we go to Turtle Rock, we need to pick up all the remaining lower Hyrule pickups. Nice mirror bonk. So if you put your portal in just the right spot, you'll pick up the heart piece and then immediately mirror bonk afterwards and save a decent amount of seconds. It's, I guess, somewhat precise, but with enough practice you can learn a visual cue. It's unfortunate, Skullbush. Hate to see it. Check's going for his Hylia Island heart piece. So immediately after we get that, we go back into the Dark World and dash around. Nice, good job, Chex. And we mirror here underneath, kind of by the bridge, and go get the last bottle of the game. And then after that, we go back through these hammer pegs a second time. Second time this speedrun. And we head to the Big Bomb shop, because now it's available for us. We can go for a strat here, where we try and screen transition or mirror on the same frame, or like on the same group of frames that the bomb would explode on when a timer hits 0. And it's actually a bit more forgiving than you might think it is. I think it's around the order of 12 frames of leeway after the timer hits 0. So provided you don't screw it up majorly, the bomb will still be there after you mirror or screen transition. Corey successfully pulling that off. Feels good. And now we're in the Pyramid Fairy, where we need to get ourselves silver arrows and the gold sword. The silver arrows is easy. You just need to mash buttons and you'll drop silvers in the pond. Check's going for the safer strat, where you just walk, screen transition to dupe the bomb. And the second thing we do is drop a sword. That is 6 items to the left. You can cycle through the menu of the fairy fountain by going left and right. So you just do 6 taps to the left, provided your shield did not get eaten. It is possible to get your shield eaten in Skull Woods. If that happens, it is 5 left presses instead. Getting your shield eaten is not the end of the world, though, because you will end up getting Mirror Shield and Turtle Rock, and that is the only requirement for shields. You always get Mirror Shield from that chest, and it does not get taken away from you ever. You have it permanently. So after we do that, we go around and hook across the river in Dark World to get up to this area of the map to grab the Cape, the Graveyard Ledge Heart Piece, Bumper Cave Heart Piece, and the Lumberjack Heart Piece, all in succession. We start with the Cape, and then we do Graveyard Ledge and work our way west and north. You can go for an optional strat here in Graveyard Ledge where you drop the bomb early and throw it after picking up 1 pot. It's not the most tight thing in the world, but it's easy to mess up. So if you have a lower bomb count, it's not super advisable. Like, Chex has the minimum amount of bombs that you need for the rest of the run without having to pick up an extra one somewhere. So he can opt to go for it. If he messes up, he'll have to pick up another bomb somewhere. Turtle Rock has an easy one, so it's not the worst thing, but it's something to consider. So before you get to this screen that Corey is now on, you want to equip the Cape and try to activate it early. That just makes getting through those enemies a lot easier. There's a super annoying but swag strat where you can cape dash through those guys. It is super tight though, and it's awful, so I would not recommend doing it unless you really know what you're doing. Chimo successfully dupes his bomb, and all 3 runners have now successfully avoided catastrophe here. Lumberjack Heart Piece for Corey. So he is now going to go grab the Ice Rod. It is the last thing we need before we go to Turtle Rock. You could theoretically get this at almost any point during the run, but for menuing purposes and for safety purposes, this is just the most ideal spot to pick it up, where it's less risky if you take a hit somewhere from a crab because of how much health you have. So we put it off until now for the most comfortable experience. And so now that we're done with that, we now can finally go to the mountain for our final wrap-up of dungeons and items. Oh, Corey trying to hook that rock in hopes that dead rock would not get in his way, but it was very up close and personal and knocked him out of his spin speed. I should note that if you mess up the big bomb strat, if it explodes, you just have to go back and get a new bomb. That's why we pick up some safety money in some certain spots, just in case in a race situation you happen to mess it up. It's just good backup strats in races, honestly. Nice menu. Perfectly centering on the portal there to get the quick warp. Also, Corey goes for the medallion dash here, where you press Y and A on the same frame with the medallion equipped. And it just it acts the exact same way as any other spin speed where... any like hook speed where you get a spin speed from item usage. And most of Turtle Rock stays pretty much the same. We get to use the cape here in this first key room, because it's actually faster to do so. And it's a lot safer, even still. So nice comfy strat here. Just make sure you menu like as early as possible. That way you don't get stuck. The cape can get you stuck if you're too late with a menu going through a doorway. Alright, so hopefully Chimo, after getting this heart piece, will remember to go get the Lost Woods heart piece, which he left behind a long time ago. Oh no, Corey. Okay, nice backup. Using the pegs to advantage. These stupid chomps, man. Alright, look at that. Chimo heading towards the heart piece. Love to see it. Chimo's run is saved. Except for the fact that he needs to get Ice Rod. Uh-oh. I'm gonna go message chat. So, if he doesn't realize in time, I suppose he can exit Laser Bridge and come back to his portal. Okay, he saw it. He's heading there now. Oh man. Is that what half of these races is gonna be? Just people trying to put in chat so that way it can still be a good race. Just hoping that they don't forget. Yeah, it might be a thing of like how many things will people forget throughout League, and hope you don't see any. Honestly, that would be very tragic. Okay, so first thing that we have to worry about in Turtle Rock is making sure we go out toward the bridge. And we do Mimic Cave and then the big chest to get our heart piece and mirror shield. Both checks and Corey remember to do that. And that's it. Turtle Rock is now back to normal. There's nothing different from here on out. The next thing we need to remember is right after Turtle Rock. Jack's getting his mirror shield. Seems like a relatively uneventful TR for Corey. And looking that way, just the same for checks. I guess I can take this time to talk about just things to avoid when menuing. Your menus can change depending on what you do and don't pick up timing-wise. You know, if you end up forgetting something. The bottom line is, though, do not go over your bottles ever. They are very, very slow to, if you end up going over them in your menu, they open up a secondary menu, and you have to exit out of that menu by tapping left or right. You cannot use up or down. So just be wary of your bottle menuing when you're doing hundo. Why did what unfreeze so fast, Corey? I wasn't looking. I said. I don't know. Yes, checks. So it technically doesn't matter a whole lot, but I think it is slightly better to do hook speed here. I think it is slightly faster to do hook speed. Okay, and that is the thing we did not want to forget upon exiting Turtle Rock. That is the last one of the two last things that is pretty easy to forget in hundo. I guess you could consider doing the Mimic Cave and Mirror Shield. Also, oh goodness, Chimo took a lot of damage there. Those lasers wrecked him. He does have a fairy, so he does have a little bit of safety backup. Oh, Corey went for the spike skip and got it. And got bad RNG immediately after. Ooh, check saying he's gonna time the hook speed at some point. Alright. Corey getting rid of the last extra bombs out of his inventory. The exact same as any percent where you want to get rid of your bombs to make endgame menuing a bit easier. Alright, and here is the last thing it is possible to forget in hundo. My feed is buffering though, so it might be a bit for me to actually see it. It is the red mail, which is in the GT big chest. Corey is successfully remembering to get the red mail, and that is the final thing that we get in the hundo category. So we just need to climb and kill Ganon. Oh no. Chimo having a rough time on Trinex. Oh, why? Oh no. Oh no, the ice blocked it? Okay. And Check's also remembering to go get red mail. Okay, so that ice floor going... Uh-oh. We have the ferry. Okay, good. Whew. The ice floor going to get red mail. Corey told me how to do it, and I still, like in practice, kind of messed it up. I'm not sure exactly what the right inputs are. So, but supposedly you face left for minimum 1 frame, and then hold down left and slash, and you'll just go in a door. The gauntlet can still be pretty annoying. There's nothing to really make it easier. It's not like we can quick swap or anything like Rando does. It's actually kind of a tactical BMOS damage take. Damage boost. Get off the ice. That's nice. And Chimo also remembers to get the final heart piece of the game. Interesting, I guess it's faster to get the mini Helma key than it is the chest key. Guess I never really thought about it too much. But since you have so much health, you can spare to do that strat instead. And not have to hit the switch a couple times. I'm just so used to doing the chest key. Although it looks like Chex did torch key, which I guess is also fine. I think mini Helma key is faster. Yeah, I mean you shouldn't need the magic because you're using silvers. That's also fair. The point I'm trying to make is I'm so used to doing it in any percent where I do the magic getting strat. I don't think about it too much in Hundo. Perhaps that's something I should change up. Last bit of RNG, but you know, fingers crossed. Theoretically, the least impactful RNG segment of the run is Ganon. Oh no, bad fall from Chimo. The last thing of RNG is the amount of warps that Ganon gives you in Phase 3. Anywhere from 0 to infinity. He can warp for all eternity. Whoa. Nice setup there from Corey. Getting a triple. Oh my goodness. Oh, that doesn't count. That's unfortunate. I thought that was gonna work. That again, it would be stopped where he was. But nicely done. Collecting everything and then crossing a bridge here in just a second. Get your GG in chat for Corey. Our first finisher on in this race. Also, Chimo remembering red mail successfully. So all runners have all 100% items. And Chex Human also takes down Ganon with no arrows left to spare. Nice rationing out your arrows. Get your G's in chat for Chex. So a 33-second difference between first and second in a hundo race. That's awesome. I feel like you're probably not going to see that a whole lot in these races for Hundo League, but we'll take them as we see them, you know? Love to see close races in Hundo. And while we're waiting for guys to hop in a booth, just to watch Chimo's climb here. I cannot drag him because he is too far down. So someone else will have to drag him into ZSR 4. Thank you. Hey, and we have Corey in the commentary booth. GG's.
Hey, thank you. GG's.
Good job good job not forgetting things on Restream.
I mean, yeah. I was actually worried about that at some point, like just listening to like, I did everything right?
So, yeah, pretty sure you got everything, so.
But it was a fun race. I feel like it was pretty nice overall. That one Dead Rock notwithstanding, that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, that made you glad that you picked up the ferry after all, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, and Chex Human's also in the booth. GG's.
GG.
Yo. GG Chex.
That was fun.
It was
fun.
Yeah, one dig feels like it's pretty comfy for if you can pull it off. Just get lucky, forehead.
Yeah, exactly. Chex, you were the unluckiest of the diggers. You got 3, while Chimo got 2 and Corey got 1. But I think you said you got 2 chests, so you were the luckiest of the chesters.
Yes. And I saved 9 seconds after chess game, so not too much trouble. But my PB is not very good, and that's okay. I got 1 gold.
Nice, let's go.
Golds are always good. Looks like I lost 5 seconds. But not too bad.
Lost 5 seconds?
Losing 5 seconds over the course of an hour, I think is pretty good, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm not unhappy with it.
Oh, you mean post chess game? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Post chess game was only 5 seconds lost over PB.
Gotcha. Yeah, only losing 5 is good. That's
a nice run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think most of it was dying to the Dead Rock on top of DM.
Oh yeah.
Like I dashed right by him, and then I started to walk up, and I saw him come get me. I'm like, oh, I better do something about this, and then he killed me anyway.
Yeah.
Been meaning to get the heart, and I mean any of the heart pots in Fight Cave, and I keep forgetting.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's like if you wanted to just make sure you don't die to a dead rock on your way out, kind of thing. That is a very valid strat.
Yeah.
And of course, if you end up not taking a hit after getting the heart, you could go for the frame 1 dash and Mire Shed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time I go for it and it doesn't matter, I get it. Like what is?
Oh really?
That? Like I do it in save and quit. Because it doesn't, like, you get the heart piece right after you finish Mire, so you have full health. You're like, it doesn't matter. I don't care, and I feel like I get it like 80% of the time.
Yeah,
all right.
First frame.
Yeah. So on Restreamed, Chimo just now took down Ganon, and he is about to destroy his first run PB of 2:03. So 11-minute PBs we love to see.
Yeah, let's go.
Chimo PB by too much.
Yeah, now it's over. It's over for him.
So,
I had no idea though that Mire Shed. I thought it was.
I don't know if
you had to do it first frame.
Forget, no, it's I think if you get first frame, then it's like an extremely favorable frame roll, and then if it's not first frame, then it's like there's like an extra frame in there, so it goes down to like 50% or something.
Yeah, I think that's right. If I remember correctly, that's right. First frame is 75%, second frame is 50%, third frame is 25%.
I think yeah, something like that. But I feel like I get it, even though I very rarely get first frame. But of course, I only ever go for it when it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hundo League is, I guess, two weeks away.
I think so. Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm also excited about it. Any other little bits of the run y'all want to talk about before we get Chimo in here, possibly?
I'm trying to remember what happened, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, just another day in the office.
There's so many things.
Right.
Let's see. Most of my boss fights were not super great. Although there's like a different set than I normally have. Like, Landmo was bad. Moldorm was fine. Nobody counts Armos Knights. That's just like not a thing. Let me think. I thought Helmosaur was pretty good given the RNG that I had. Blind was bad. Moth was medium, which actually means bad. Cold Stare for a change was good. Video was okay. And then I don't know what happened. And Argus and Trinex were both real not good.
Yeah. I saw, like you said that the ice head unfroze or something.
Yeah, so I noticed, I think it was yesterday, I saw Chex do like a double rod shot there just to make sure that it froze. So I tried to do that, and then after like 2 sword slashes, it unfroze, and I'm like, what is happening?
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you hit it with the rod shot on your first shot, and then you do your second one, you have less time to get your slashes in.
Today I learned. Just don't mess up the timing, apparently.
Yeah, so what I just do instead is slash instead of rod. An extra time before fire rodding.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I was just trying to make sure that I caught it before it went down to the side.
I have to take a look. I like the double rod because it gives me a nice timing. I learned it from Telethar.
Yeah, I was trying to like save the zero cycle, and then it just, I don't know. That must be a quirk of it that I just didn't know.
Okay.
I mean, it's fine. I just lose the zero cycle. It's not the end of the world. I mean, I think the rest of the run was pretty good. I can't think of any major mistakes outside of like obviously no routing mistakes, no major room blow-ups. I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Chimo, thanks for hopping in here. GG's. I think yeah, you need to check your mic.
How about now?
Hey, we can hear you now.
There we go.
Hey guys, GG's.
GG's.
Well, how'd you feel about your second ever hundo run?
Yeah, it was nice to have a chat telling me like what I forgot to get. Easy minute PB, right? Too, and forgetting ice rod at the end was the best too. So yeah, it was fun though. It was a lot quicker to get dig game and chess game than the first run I did. So that was nice.
Yo. Favorable RNG.
Always nice.
Yeah.
So are you gonna enter the Hundo League?
I guess so. I might as well now.
Yeah, you're already in the thick of it. Might as well.
Yeah, pretty much. Did a couple runs. I mean, I've been playing a lot more 80%, but I guess we'll do this for a while.
It's almost League.
You set your file names for League.
Oh, good point. Yeah, if you need to set your file names specifically for League for it to be a valid submission.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I just didn't do it.
Okay, so you need to do another run then, I think.
Yeah, I think I probably will do another one. Probably the first one I did, I had the right file name, I think, for qualifiers.
Well, that one's submittable at the very least, but probably want to do better than the one you just did. You know, always room to improve.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, anything about the run outside of the RNG you wanted to also talk about?
I mean, not too much. I just learned this last night, so like sort of just got the route. I haven't practiced much of anything that's like specific to this run, which seems to mostly be menuing and quick warps, but a couple different room strats here and there.
Yeah, there's some screens that are pretty interesting in this route.
Yeah, I kept saying this a bunch during the race, but I hope you watch it back so you can learn a few things, because there's definitely things you probably didn't know about certain room straps to implement.
That's 90% why I joined it, so I could be told what I was doing wrong.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Alrighty then, and I guess I didn't get around to you yet, Chex, but outside of RNG, what were your thoughts on your run?
I am satisfied with the run. I'd rather not think about the light world, but the rest of it was fine.
Oh no. That's right. Yeah, we don't have to talk about Hera. It's fine.
So I think I'm good.
Okay. Alrighty.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, sure. Just want to make sure I covered all the bases here.
Thanks.
Yeah, and thanks for commentary. Thanks for commentary. That was great to listen to.
Agreed.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure that this first one of its kind had commentary, so I said I would do it in case no one else did. So here I am.
Right.
Here I was.
Well, we appreciate you taking one for the team. It was fun having this whole thing set up. Glad
Yeah,
people
more love for Hundo, please.
Yeah.
Indeed,
And
more
of
love for
course,
Hundo, please. We're gonna see that in 2 weeks when the league starts, I hope.
Oh yeah.
So, you all do it like Chemo did it. Go ahead tonight, sit down, learn the route, start tomorrow. Dish out the 145s. Big shout out.
Heck yeah.
Hot checks.
Big shout outs to you all in the running. Big shout outs, of course, to Royal King bringing commentary on. And we're excited to have more of NMG Hundo in the next few weeks. So we'll see how that goes. Until then, thank you all so much for watching, for having a good time with us, I hope, and see you all next restream.
Yep, see you guys.